Hello, everybody. I am Krista Fee, and this is Rise Up Voices from the Frontlines, Rise Up Responder Edition. They're the strong ones, the ones everyone leans on, the ones who get the job done, the ones who hold the line. But sometimes, the ones who hold the line are the ones breaking behind closed doors. Today's episode is called The Quiet Collapse. We're talking about what happens to military and first responders when the high functioning mask finally cracks. Not on call, not in the uniform, but at home when no one's watching. And we're going to talk about it honestly because too many people aren't. Let's start here. In responder culture, survival is a skill set. Compartmentalization is a skill. Control under pressure is a skill. You're trained, conditioned, and expected to master your own nervous system while others are falling apart. When civilians panic, you stabilize. When civilians freeze, you move. When civilians break, you triage. It's one of the most extraordinary things about the profession, and it's also one of the most dangerous. Because functioning is not the same thing as healing. I sat once with a veteran paramedic, 18 years of service on the truck. He told me, I've seen dead kids, brutal crashes, drownings, suicides. I used to think the job wasn't affecting me because I never broke down. I never cried. I went home, kissed my wife, played with my kids, and then one night, nothing happened, and I collapsed anyway. What finally broke him? It wasn't the job. It was the accumulation of what was never allowed to surface. Let's talk about science for a minute, because I know you guys like to know how things work. Your nervous system runs on patterns of survival, sympathetic activation, the go state, fight, flight, adrenaline action, dorsal collapse, the shutdown state, numb, disconnected, exhausted, absent. Ventral regulation, the state you rarely get to stay in, safety, presence, and grounded connection. Responder work trains your body to live in sympathetic readiness, constantly wired for crisis. But when you go home, your system doesn't automatically shift. It stays primed, scanning for threat, running high. And when the body finally can't maintain that, it simply drops into collapse. Not on scene, not during the call, but on the couch, in the kitchen at 2 a.m., when the world is still. I worked once with the wife of a law enforcement officer who said that I didn't lose him to the job. I lost him to the shutdown. He still came home. He was still physically here, but emotionally he was gone long before retirement. That's not failure. That's nervous system survival. That's the invisible cost of unprocessed hyperfunctioning. Let's just be brutally honest. The reason so many responders don't get help sooner is not because they're too tough. It's because they're so good at surviving that you normalize 3 hours of sleep, chronic irritability, stomach issues, low level anxiety, avoidance of emotion, quiet resentment towards anyone who hasn't lived what you've lived. And the list goes on. And you learn to carry it all because that's just the culture, because that's what's modeled, because no one wants to be that guy who can't hack it. But here's the truth that most aren't saying out loud. Many of your brothers and sisters are breaking too, quietly. And all they need to reach out for help is an example. Someone has to be brave enough to break the tension, the stigma, and the illusion of indestructibleness. The number of responders and veterans we've lost to suicide, addiction, and burnout is staggering, and the numbers are only part of the story. Long before it reaches crisis, there's the silent marriages falling apart, the fathers emotionally absent at the dinner table, the hypervigilant mothers who can't sleep unless they're scanning the house, the responders whose kid says, "Dad never smiles anymore." Let's slow down for a second. If any of this sounds familiar, you are not weak. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are normal. This is normal. You're experiencing the predictable, physiological outcome of years of nervous system survival without adequate repair processing. Here's the harder question. How long do you plan to try to outrun it? How many years do you think you can sustain this tempo before your body pulls the plug for you? Because that's where so many end up. Medical retirement, quiet divorces, subclinical substance use and abuse, emotional shutdown, and suicide. Not because you're bad at your job, because you're too good at pretending nothing is happening inside. So what do we do? I'm not going to give you a 10-step Instagram version of healing. You've seen enough of those. I'll offer you this instead. Tonight, when you take off the uniform, the badge, the gear, the armor, whatever it is, sit still. Put your hand on your chest. Breathe. And ask yourself honestly, what am I still carrying that no one knows about? You don't have to fix it all tonight. You don't have to tell the whole story yet. You do need to start letting your body feel, even if it's only for 60 seconds. Because feeling is not weakness. Feeling is what returns you to yourself. And at RISEUP, we work with first responders because you're human, not superhuman, not broken, human. Because warriors deserve a place to lay their armor down before it crushes them. And because it's time to stop waiting until the collapse to finally be seen. You can be the one who leads by being honest. You can be the one who goes first. And this is even more important if you are a leader. You owe it to yourself and to your team to consider the big picture, the long game strategy. Because together we can change the trajectory of the statistics. So if you're ready for something deeper, I invite you to connect with me one-on-one or explore the full RISEUP responder community. The work starts here, but it doesn't end here. Until next time, stay human, stay present, stay here.